Buddy, it's 4:02 p.m. and it is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. This is the Public Health, Safety, and Transportation Committee. Please call the order.
Chairperson Mike Seville.
Present.
Vice Chair Bill Donnell.
Here.
Alderwoman Wani Garza.
Here.
Alderman John Lash.
Present.
Alderman Ted Masiakos.
Present.
5 present.
Okay. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes, 25-0261. Approval of the minutes from the Public Health, Safety, and Transportation Committee held on March 25th, 2025. It's been moved by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman Lash. Any corrections, additions, or deletions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carried, 5-0. Any members of the public wishing to give public comment?
No one has signed up.
Okay, so we'll go to the heart of the agenda then. First item is 25-0127. A resolution approving estimated payments not to exceed $114,000 to Suburban Law Enforcement Academy for police recruit training in 2025. Sergeant.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, Committee. Lieutenant Bill Rowley of Administrative Services, Lieutenant for the Police Department. Before you is a resolution to approve estimated payments not to exceed $114,000 for the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy for police recruit training. I know you have as part of your Legistar item some other additional documents. I would point out that several years back, we did send our police recruits to the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. We call that SLEA. At that time, we made a decision that their training standards were not in line with our very strict and rigorous training standards for the police department. So we went on a search for another training academy, McCletsy, which is further downstate. At that time, they did meet our needs. Since then, we've had such things as the Safety Act and some further enhancements with the Illinois Law Enforcement Safety Training Standards Board, which has enhanced both the law enforcement training requirements for the state. That paired with our enhanced training standards, we found that McCletsy was no longer meeting our needs. Not necessarily related, but also considered was the added expense to send our recruits down to McCletsy, which included room and board and travel, and also required us to travel as we do regular site visits to police academies to ensure that they're meeting our standards. Once we realized that McCletsy was not meeting the standards that we have for our police recruits, we did start looking back at SLEA to see if they had raised their standards to a level that we thought was appropriate for our police recruits. We sent people to look at their class schedules, look at their syllabus. We made a decision to send a few recruits there as a test, and we found that the recruits that we sent to the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy most recently far exceeded their performance of similar recruits that were sent to the McCletsy Police Academy downstate. So the police department made a decision to move, at least for the time being, our recruits back to SLEA in Glen Ellen. Of course, that also saves us room and board and some significant travel expenses. So what you have before you is a request to make payments for the remainder of this year. I believe we may have as many as 21 new police recruits, or 21 new hirees actually for 2025. A lot of them will be new recruits who will be required to attend a police academy. Some of those recruits will be hires that are already police officers in other jurisdictions who will not be required to attend a police academy. But for the remainder who have to attend, we anticipate that this will be our cost for the year. Also, we do receive some reimbursement from the state of Illinois. I believe that's outlined. I don't have it in front of you, but I believe it is outlined in your Legistar item that you could review as you see fit. And I'm free for any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Any questions of the lieutenant?
How much want to be the reimbursement?
I'm sorry?
The total amount?
They do a total reimbursement based on the funding that the state has available. We don't know what that funding is until the state makes a decision on what they're going to reimburse. And it's not like a grant where we can request a certain amount. It's essentially we take whatever they give us.
Okay.
Okay, Alderman Lash?
You said that they're now up to snuff. Do we have any of our other regional law enforcement agencies that we've reached out to affirm and confirm that?
We have our own standards, and so rather than comparing our training standards to our commensurate agencies in the suburbs, especially, we matched what the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy can do based on our individual needs. Now, we do know that most suburban law enforcement agencies use SLEA as their preferred Police Academy. Obviously, the City of Chicago has their own, and Cook County has their own. DuPage County uses Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. So we know that Naperville, Geneva, most of our similarly sized organizations use SLEA, but rather than make comparables to their training standards, we use our training standards, which generally speaking we find are a lot higher than surrounding communities.
Okay. So basically those other locals like Naperville never left. We left. We're coming back.
Correct.
You feel comfortable with it?
In summary, correct.
No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any further questions then? Is there a
Motion
motion?
to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman Donnell. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye opposed, motion carried, 5-0. Thanks. And the next one is 25-0243, and that is a resolution establishing the maximum number of Class D Fox Valley Mall Entertainment District on-site consumption liquor licenses unofficially related to the application from Foodiva LLC, DBA Bawarchi Biryani's at 425 Fox Valley Center Drive. This is in Ward 10. Sorry if I butchered that.
Yeah, that was right? Yes.
Okay, good.
Very good.
Welcome.
Jennifer Stallings, City Clerk, and I am here with Mr. Ramakrishna.
Yes.
Very good, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And he is here to answer any questions that you might have. They have been in business for almost 3 years at that location. I do understand that there was a liquor license at that location prior to them purchasing that. I don't have independent recollection of that liquor license, but that is what has been represented to me. We have been actually working very hard, or the owners have been working very hard to, in cooperation with city staff, to meet all of the requirements to complete the application process here. They did have to go through some fire inspections, and they did get a new certificate of occupancy. So they have gone through all the requirements, and I do believe that they are ready to go if they are approved.
Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Good evening, committee. My name is Ramakrishna Nimageda. I'm one of the partners in Foodiva LLC. We are operating this restaurant from 3 years now. The ownership prior to us left us some open issues, so we worked with Jennifer and the city to fix all of those issues. We now intend to get the liquor license to serve our customers who are asking for some drinks to be served at dinner time. Last 3 years, we did not have that option. We request to grant us a liquor license so that we could serve our customers in a better way.
And are you in the center court? Your business located in the center court?
Yeah, it's an outlet of the Fox Valley Mall.
Okay. Okay.
Right next to the Dennis in the New York Street.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you. Any questions of the Alderman Lash?
I just want to clarify. So the previous owner had problems. He purchased it.
So I don't know that there were problems necessarily, but just things that needed to be brought up to our standards, our current standards. So yeah, once we received the application for the liquor license, and the current owners went through all of the processes that we required of them, and things are looking good now.
No further questions.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Lash, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
motion carried. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is 25-0268, a resolution to approve a rental agreement with East Aurora School District 131 for the City of Aurora's Youth Services Division. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Council. Simon Rodriguez, Youth Services Manager. And this is a first time, which I'm really excited, of moving our portable soccer field outside of city-owned properties. So this will be the first time, and we're partnering with both East Aurora School District 131 as well as West Aurora School District 129 in the following item. And this is for us to place our soccer field at 2 schools for 2 different sets of dates. The first will be for East Aurora, will be May 16th through June 1st at Rollins Elementary School, followed by Dietrich Elementary School from September 1st through the 15th. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of the Alderman?
I'm sorry, so Rollins Elementary from May 1st through the 5th, May 16th through June 1st, and then Dietrich Elementary, September 1st through the 15th.
Alderman Masiacos?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Question real quick.
Yes,
We
sir.
set it up and we take it down.
That is correct, Alderman.
How much time do we spend doing that?
It takes about 2 hours to take down and about 2 hours to set up, typically.
And how many locations?
So for East Aurora, it's going to be 2 different locations this year, and then West
Okay.
Aurora as well, same.
It does include getting ready for it, and where do we keep it when we don't have it?
So
out there?
actually, we found a winter location, which currently it's at Garfield Park across the street from Fire Station 8, if I'm not mistaken, off Michaels Avenue.
Okay.
So it's actually been utilized all winter long, which is great.
Right.
It's this structure can be utilized in all weather.
And out of curiosity, how many people work to putting it up and taking it down?
Great question. I'd say it takes about good 3 to 4. It can be done with less, but it takes much more time. So,
So about 4 people put it up in 2 hours.
correct.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Simon,
Garza?
so when they put the playground to play the football,
Yes.
after hours,
Yes.
who want to take care of that? Because the complaints we're receiving on flea market when they have it,
Yes.
in the middle of night, the kids playing in there. So they call the police, and it's
Mhm.
all with the neighbors, complain with the neighbors for that.
Absolutely.
So there's some concern with that. So
Mhm.
how you want to control that?
Yes, great question. And I know that's a concern that's been a concern over the last 2 years. A few things. One, we have portable soccer field rules, signs in English and Spanish on both sides of the field. Different rules, but one of them does outline that this field is open from dusk until dawn. We're actually, as an added measure, are adding an additional sign in much larger letters that'll say in English and Spanish that this field is closed after sunset. Similar to our playgrounds at Phillips Park and Garfield, or any other parks, really, right? We intentionally do not put any lighting, so it's
Yeah.
it's dark, so it's not inviting folks to play in the evening. So we have as many rules set up. We also have information on how to report an issue or problems for our community. So they have our direct line as well as our customer service. But obviously, if they see something, we want to encourage our community to call 911.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, because it is going to be an
Absolutely.
issue.
Yeah.
Kids, they don't care. Sometimes it's dark and they playing,
Yes.
even with dark is. So that's why I'm concerned with that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I agree. I think there are different methods that we can take, and we're always, open to any
So
other
in
future.
the sign, when it say the hours, but also the one to say what happened if they start playing after hours?
There are rules that say, anyone in violation of these rules can lose their privileges of using this facility, as well as the city of Aurora reserves the right to close the facility at any time and remove any persons for any reason. Again, in English and Spanish. So,
Good. All right.
And I'm thinking maybe even continuing to highlight these rules to keep
Please.
kids safe. And
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Question?
Alderman Lesh?
I guess I was thinking the same thing. I know we talked about a lock on the gate when this initially came before the council prior to purchasing,
Yes.
but how do we enforce it? I don't know that signs are going to do enough. And is
Yes.
it our job to enforce it, or is it the school district's?
So great question. To your first point, Alderman, the soccer field, even if you put locks, think of like a gate. It's about, they can jump. I mean, this photo here, you can see, and this was attached to your, oh, okay, great. So kids can just jump in, right? The purpose of having it as schools is specifically for schools to utilize it during the school day and after school for their programming, so during their gym classes. So it really is going to be actually specifically for use for the students at that school for that amount of time, and then we'll move it. So that's why we're doing it at schools, but then we're also going to have it at our public facilities so that anyone in the community can come and enjoy it. Short of that, again, we want to work with APD to maybe give them some insight and provide them the list as well of the location so that they understand that, oh, this soccer field is going to be at this location. Maybe we'll, have our COP officers or folks pass by just to keep an eye out.
And
It's
so
one of those things similar to, again, a playground. I compare it to a playground. If any of you go to Phillips Park or Garfield Park, unfortunately, there isn't any physical way of stopping children from showing up and playing in the parks. We can set rules and expectations, and if we start to see more of issues and our community has more input, we'd love to, again, communicate with APD. Our COP officers do a phenomenal job, with the community. I'd be more than happy to continue going to some of our neighborhood group meetings to inform our families that this is there, but also that the expectation is that, it's obviously similar to a park. We don't want young people at a park past a certain time, right? We do have a curfew as well that they need to abide by.
And then the insurance, does this district's insurance cover any potential?
So our insurance, because we reached out to the schools to put them in hopes of having this available to more of our families, the city is taking on the liability.
Okay. Alderman Donnell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So what we're approving today is just with East Aurora. All these other dates are approved or in place?
Correct. So the 2 dates for the schools, and then in the next item for West Aurora, I'll give you the dates. The other sites will all be on City of Aurora property parks, so that those we approve are our own, and we work with our vendor to make sure that they're placed there.
So these fields, are they open on a first-come, first-served basis, or can people reserve them?
It's open play. We actually put in the rules that it's not designated for league play or organized unless
Practice?
we organize practice. I mean, some kids will show up with the ball and have a little practice with their friends. That's the whole point, is for kids to show up and free play and have a good time. And then it's for kids too. So we make a point that it's for students under the age of 18. So we're gonna have adults taking advantage. We've had this field up for 2 years, and it's been a phenomenal success. If you ever pass by, you see cleat marks all over the place, which tells us the kids are using it. And we've yet to have any issues with graffiti. Kids are taking care of it. I think they really value this space.
Great.
And I think by moving it around, you preserve the turf. So I think that's a good
Absolutely,
program.
and that's why the 2 weeks is a good time frame to let the kids play at that specific location, move it around, but also so we're being mindful of the location, the grass that we're putting it on.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Motion to approve?
Motion made by Alderwoman Garza.
Second.
Is there second by Alderman Lesh. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried, 5-0. And the second one then is a resolution to approve a rental agreement with the West Aurora School District 129 for the City of Aurora's Youth Services Division. That's 25-0269.
Thank you. Same information, although this will be for 2 schools in the West Aurora School District, with Greenman Elementary being our first stop this season, which is exciting, from May 1st through the 15th, and followed up with Smith Elementary School from September 16th through the 30th. I do want to add, we work closely with our school district partners and allowed them to decide the locations based on availability and, and other factors, so. Yes.
Okay, any discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion made by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman Donnell. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. And the next one is 25-0277, a resolution establishing the maximum number of Class D Fox Valley Mall Entertainment District on-site consumption liquor licenses unofficially related to the application from Catherine's Place at 1300 Fox Valley Center Drive, and this is in Ward 10. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Jennifer Stallings, and we have Quint Thompson here as well.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Quentin.
And Quint is the owner of Catherine's Place. You may recall Catherine's Place from just right across, kind of across the street. Catherine's Place is now inside the Fox Valley Mall, and Quint is here asking for a liquor license for the new Catherine's Place.
Okay. You want to say anything, Quinn?
Yeah. We started this thing about 3 years ago. It was a new development. It was a new kind of risky business, considering we were a healthier food choice, consider what we have located in the area so far. So we we took that chance, and we had a great concept to launch right in the downtown heart of the city. And we did it for 3 years. With the business plan that we had in place, we obviously wanted to expand that and utilize that concept, this same concept, in the same location that we were. Considering that I have the gym right on the corner of Downer and Stope, and then Catherine's Place went in right adjacent to it, kind of a Jack and Jill at 61 South Stope. And so the idea was to, utilize that space and open it up and launch the whole concept into to West Downer. But that concept never got off the ground. Unfortunately, the building ended up being sold, and so there were new owners, so that concept kind of went away, but not the business plan within itself. We were fortunate enough to come find the space in Fox Valley Mall that was made much more space than we actually had anticipated, which is 5,000 square feet. It actually has a bar located inside it. Most of you may be familiar with it. It used to be the old spot where they did, I think, elections, voting in there, 1300 Fox Valley Center Drive. So that location. We were fortunate enough to be able to inherit some of the equipment that was left behind, which was a wood oven, Firestone brick oven that was in there as well. And so the idea that we wanted to launch this healthy options concept kind of gave us the opportunity to do more with that space. And so with having that much space and having that much opportunity to do so, it just made more sense to kind of add to that concept and continue to build on it. And so we were able to, I guess, refurbish the fire pit pizza oven. So now we do offer a lot of different pizza options. At first, we were just going to do certain, just flat breads in there, but then we extended that menu to being able to serve brisket, chicken, pepperoni, sausage, you name it, on pizzas, we got it. And so it's going really well at this time. And we ended up talking to the mall as well, and was kind of launching that concept to them about adding the liquor license in there for, patrons to kind of come in and have a good time and have some cocktails with their meals in there, and also the healthier options too. It's kind of different concept though. We, instead of using a lot of, what most people use, Coke and Sprite and whatever they mix their cocktails with, these are kind of specialty cocktails where we use all of the healthy ingredients that we have in-house already to mix blends with the existing alcohol that we're going to be serving. So it's kind of a different concept as well too. I'm honored to be here to be able to say, looking back 3 years ago when we brought this idea in here, and you guys were generous enough to offer an extension to us to be able to launch Catherine's Place. Looking forward, we took that opportunity and expanded it, and here we are now looking at 5,000 square feet of space in a different location, which allows us to do and be a lot more creative in that space.
Great. Any questions of Quinn?
No, I'm surprised a little bit only, but it's a new concept, yes.
Yes.
It's supposed to be healthy, and now with alcohol, well, I don't know, I imagine somebody being the bicycle, and they want a cocktail, so, but something different, so maybe you gotta be good.
Well, unfortunately, the spin bike
Some
won't
little
be
bit,
in the
and
bar.
they need more energy or something with a little tequila
We'll keep that in
and
mind.
cucumbers.
Yes, yes.
Great. Alderman Lash?
Does that place have an interior? I know they have an exterior entrance
Right.
to the mall. Do they have an interior into the mall space as well?
Yeah, so there's an interior entrance and there's a posterior entrance too. So we have our own entrance. So fortunately for us, we don't have to adhere to the mall hours. So we can open earlier and stay open later as we want based on the city regulations as far as how late we can stay open during the weekend hours, so which would be open a lot longer and give people a lot more opportunity to come out and enjoy the summer, which we're looking forward to. So on top of that, we have an indoor patio and also an outdoor patio as well.
Okay, I was going to ask about the indoor-outdoor, and then is construction in that corner? Is there any construction in that corner of the mall, that section of the mall?
Construction as far as?
With the apartments and so forth?
Oh, absolutely. So and I'm guessing they're going to be open real soon. So we're literally adjacent to where the new concept of apartments and concept of that new build out is over there, that development. So we're right there. Also, obviously, the development on the other side, which is already up and running. So there's a lot of development still going on over there in that area.
Okay. And you didn't have liquor at the other place downtown, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so this is all new for you too?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is all new. I think that space was roughly 600 square feet. So we went from 600 square feet
To 5,000?
to 5,000, and so a little overwhelming it was, but we got a handle on it, and we're doing well over there.
Well,
Okay, great, we wish you well.
when the mall want to be closed, so how many hours they can sell liquor in the place? Until what time?
So during the weekdays, we're there until, technically now they close at 8 a.m. So Monday
Yeah, but
through-
if
Monday
I'm
through
saying
Thursday.
you have another door, separate door, you're saying.
Yes, we have a
So what is the
separate door.
time you want to start selling liquor?
Yeah.
So I think the mall opening, would you open before the mall? You would.
No, we're open on mall hours.
Mall
Okay.
hours, opening and then closing. You can close Monday and Saturday. You can stay open until 2, I believe. I would need to look that up.
The mall close late on Saturdays.
Yeah, the mall closes
Like
at
10?
9.
9.
Closes at 9.
Used to be later. Yeah. So it'll be significantly later than the mall.
Yeah, on Saturday, on Fridays and Saturdays. Sundays is typically just the mall hour time. Fridays and Saturdays would be the days that we would typically be open a little bit later on the weekends.
An hour, 2 hours after?
Yeah, so the mall closed at 9. We would probably, on Saturdays, depending on, and it's depending on, I don't know the quite regulations of what those standards are as far as the city goes as being open on the weekend, being a, kind of a bar situation, but we would like to utilize that time and be taking advantage of those hours.
Okay. No more questions.
Okay, Alderman Lesh?
Just a quick follow-up. I can see just broadly, what's your plan to control access to, I mean, obviously, you have to show an ID to
Right.
get booze, but with the outdoor patio and, the potential for kids coming in from the mall entrance, just want to hear what your plan is.
Yeah, so that patio is obviously fenced off, and it's a little higher than just a standard kind of fence. So the regulation with the mall as well is that area be secluded and fenced off, and there's a gate, only one entrance right there that we would have to make sure that we kept people there to, monitoring who comes in and out. But typically, we have to come through the front door to get in. That access to that patio is just for security purposes. We have to get off immediately. But there's no access onto that patio unless you actually go in and then come from the indoor door that leads out to the patio.
Okay, I haven't been there since the fencing off. That's what
Yeah,
I was worried.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Any
Mr.
further
Motion to
discussion?
approve, and good
Chair.
luck.
Thank you.
Alderman Donnell?
No, I have a question.
Oh, Alderman Masiacos.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question for you. I'm looking here on the application. Out of curiosity, what type of comedy? Is it stand-up, a comedy troupe? What is it? What can I look forward to coming and seeing?
So it's so we actually have someone who heads that. So one of the guys who heads it, he's actually been in the circuit on TV for a while, doing comedy. So he's the one that's actually in control of bringing in the talent for the comedy show. But it's mostly stand-up. So
Stand-up?
mostly
Okay, all
mostly
right,
stand-up
okay.
comics at night, and
All right.
we look. Yeah, you guys, you definitely have to come out and see what we have going on there. I think you'll be more than pleased and have a good time and be entertained as well.
All right, well, thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Okay, thank you. Alderwoman Garza, and
I
is there a
just make
second
the
by
motion.
Alderman Donnell?
Second.
Second by Alderman Donnell. Any further discussion? I'm sorry, Lash. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried, 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And 25-0278, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing or their designee to execute a service agreement with Oxcart Permit Systems LLC for the creation and processing of online overweight and oversized commercial motor vehicle permit applications. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Council. I'm Robert Hogarth. I'm Sergeant for the Traffic Division. Before you guys is basically an amendment to a contract that we've had with Oxcart Permit Systems. We've been with Oxcart for about 10 years now, since 2015. Oxcart provides the city free online software, simplifies the process of overweight, oversized truck permits, assisting local law enforcement, municipalities, and the companies that utilize those permits. Oxcart is an Illinois-based company. I believe they're in Palatine, and there's over 180 municipalities throughout Illinois that uses Oxcart. Not to mention there's places in Indiana and Michigan as well. What came about is some changes to the language in the contract between Oxcart and Aurora. It passed through legal and IT. They were able to add what they wanted to add to it. Oxcart was adding $1 to each permit, the fee that they were charging the actual companies, which has not changed since 2015. All the other fees were staying the same, in line with that. It brought to light some other permit fees that have not changed in almost 15 years that the city can control and does look at, and that's something I'll be looking into in the future because of this this change. So,
Any questions? Alderman Lash?
Can you just broadly explain how it works, the permitting?
Sure.
So if a truck's overweight, what
so
happens?
Based on the standards of the law for trucks, whether it be overweight or oversized, based on the route that they're going to travel, they have to contact each community that they're going to travel through and be permitted to travel the roadways that they're going to be going on, which means if they're traveling across the state, they'd be contacting numerous cities along that path. One of the nice things with the Oxcart is because so many municipalities in the area use it, they're able to contact one, and it feeds them each jurisdiction and who to contact, and they handle the payment and disbursement of the payments to the city. Those contracts come in to me or my unit. We review the path that they're going to take, make sure they stay on their truck routes where they're going to go, bridges are considered, etc. And as long as they pass our check, we check a box, it goes back to Oxcart, they send out the permits, and then we're done with the process. Streamlined it extremely well for us.
Okay. With construction, how does that work when they have to get rerouted around and go through neighborhoods?
If we're aware of the construction project, that's easy for us to do. We can notify them. If we're not, then it's one of those things that until they get to that point and they get stuck, then we get a phone call that we need to assist them sending out a unit to maybe stop traffic, get them turned around, and reroute them. That's a case-by-case basis.
Okay. No further questions.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman Janelle?
Thank you. So you have in your system all the truck routes or places where trucks aren't supposed to be, is that?
Correct, sir.
Let's just take an example. In the Fourth Ward, Highland is a truck route up to the business park, and then north of that, it's not. And I get not too frequent, but occasional complaint about trucks being where they're not supposed to be. Can this help us at all?
This is simply for oversized and overweight vehicles that are traveling to a location for work, basically. What you're speaking to is more of just vehicles disobeying the fact that it's not a truck route, but there's an asterisk that goes with that. There's reasonable access, which is allowed to all truckers or large vehicles if they're delivering to something in that area. If they miss a turn, if they're rerouted, they're able to take routes that are not on a truck route as long as they aren't cutting through to get to something else or taking a shortcut. But that all gets handled if on a traffic stop through conversation where you're having them explain why they are where they are. And then if they fit the reasonable access, they're allowed to continue along their way. If they're not, they can be cited.
So, and I don't want to get too big, brother, but I know that some of these trucking companies use GPS.
Yes.
To monitor not only where the trucks are, but the speed they're going. And so I don't know if that's ever going to dovetail into something like this to try to keep them away from where they're not supposed to be.
Something like that would probably fall on the individual companies. We wouldn't have access to that kind of thing without likely a search warrant or somebody turning it over to us.
Okay. Thank you.
Alderman Lash?
Sorry, what do we do with the money? And how much revenue does it raise?
Last year, approximately, I think the city took in about $125,000, but I don't know where that money goes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Anything more to present?
No, sir.
You
Motion
said something?
approved.
Been moved by Alderman Lash. Is there a
Second.
Second, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, 5-0.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Any other items to come before the PHS&T? If not, a motion
Motion
for
to adjourn.
adjournment is ordered. Moved by Alderwoman Garza. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Lash. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. We are
Aye.
adjourned 5-0 at 4:38 PM. Thank you.